Every religion is basically a buffet table religion. There are parts in holy books you can choose to follow, and parts you can choose to disregard or just think of as interpretive metaphors. If you make the choice to believe in and actively enforce parts of the Bible that preach against homosexuality, you're not hiding behind the defense it's solely because your God says so. We're not going to let you cowards do that. If you make that choice, it's because you hate gays. There's a whole mess of things in the Bible people choose to disregard all the time. Sometimes it's because it's something that's impossible to do. Sometimes it's because it's something you just don't want to do. Of the same American conservative Christians who preach hatred towards gays today, how many of them are preaching peace, love, and understanding when America was getting ready to go to war with Iraq? Practically none of them. The one time Jesus Christ lost his patience and he went after moneylenders in his church, and that single act becomes the rallying cry for America to become a nation of Christian ass-whoopers. A whole lifetime of Jesus Christ preaching love your enemies gets flung right out the window with wild abandon, all simply because people wanted to go to war and kill people they saw as their enemies. Now people want to hate on gays, and they're hiding behind an expression of freedom of choice. I'm not saying if you eat at Chick-fil-A you're automatically a bigot. Maybe you just don't care. But to deliberately go as an expression that you support the CEO of Chick-fil-A means you hate gays. Because it's more than just saying you support their right to express of what they want to say. Dan Cathy made it clear that the money people spend at Chick-fil-A goes into controversial anti-gay institutions that reflect the beliefs of people who run the company. Institutions like the Family Research Council, who have spread absolutely blatant and inflammatory lies about homosexuality in order to specifically promote a homophobic culture. When you spend your money at Chick-fil-A, you are either saying that you support these institutions or you don't care. This does make Chick-fil-A unique because other major fast food chains have not stood up and publicly announced that they support these controversial institutions. But if they did, you better believe we would be equally crapping on their heads from up on high with equal contempt. And maybe we should be looking into it. Maybe there are fast food chains that funnel their money into controversial and/or immoral institutions, and we should know about it. Tom Monaghan, founder of Domino's Pizza, funded a religious radio program that opposed same-sex marriage, abortion, pornography, and secularism. He actually attempted to found a college town, Ave Maria, in Florida, that was to be ruled by unconstitutional laws that utterly abandoned secularism and was going to enforce a Catholic doctrine as law. The ACLU threatened lawsuits and the project was abandoned. The people who ate at Chick-fil-A as a political statement of support for Chick-fil-A's anti-gay stance are people who want to brag to the world they hate gays without actually saying they hate gays. When they claim we're not anti-gay, we're pro-marriage, it's simply not a valid argument. All the arguments we are hearing right now are the same arguments that were made decades ago when most people were opposed to interracial marriages. Many people claim they didn't hate black people, they just didn't want their daughter to marry one. Those people were bigots who simply did not want to carry the label of being a racist. It's no different today to claim you don't hate lesbians, you just don't want your daughter to marry one. If this is how you feel, you hate gays. You will not be given the luxury of hiding behind false arguments about tradition to hide your bigotry.